The story opens with three masked strangers standing over the fresh carnage of a man they have just butchered. Nearby, a young woman named Maya groans, waking from a deep unconsciousness. She screams out for her fiancé, Ryan, but she is in a hospital bed, and a nurse is standing over her with a somber expression. The nurse gently tells her the devastating news. Ryan didn't make it. He's dead. As police begin their investigation right there in her room, the horrifying memories return. Flashbacks torment Maya, showing her the brutal attack, the masked figures, and the moment they murdered the man she loved. She asks the lead detective if anything like this has happened before, but he skillfully brushes the question aside. Maya then recalls a crucial detail. She remembers hearing one of the killers call out a name, Tamara. She asks the police who Tamara is, but they offer no answers. The scene shifts. The two policemen leave the hospital and head to a local bar for dinner. The woman behind the counter asks them about Maya's case, and the officers mention that Maya survived the attack. A strange, suspicious look crosses the bar woman's face. The story jumps back 10 years. We see a little girl on a beach, watching a boy she likes from a distance. A group of other girls runs past, carelessly stepping on the sand castle she built, destroying it. Anger flashes in her eyes. Looking heartbroken, she clutches her doll for comfort. But the doll isn't ordinary. It has a painted, smiling clown face, identical to the mask worn by one of the killers. Back in the present, Maya is alone in her hospital room, haunted by visions of her beloved fiancé. The memories overwhelm her, and tears stream down her face. A nurse interrupts her grief, coming in to give Maya her medication. Maya asks the nurse the same question she asked the police. Who is Tamara? But the nurse claims she doesn't know, and quickly leaves the room. We then see that same nurse in a secluded hallway, making a hushed phone call. Moments later, a pool of fresh blood stains the floor where she was standing. Maya drifts into a restless sleep, dreaming that she is with Ryan again. But his face suddenly twists and morphs into the terrifying visage of a masked killer. She jolts awake, her heart pounding with fear. She grabs her phone and sees a video message from her sister telling her that an ambulance is on its way to transfer her to a better, safer hospital. Just then, she receives a phone call. A strange, distorted voice whispers from the other end. Suddenly, the line fills with the sounds of violence and screaming. Terrified, Maya scrambles out of her hospital bed and flees her room, desperate to find safety. She tiptoes down the eerily silent hospital corridor and finds an exit door. But her hope turns to dread. The door is locked. She's trapped. Suddenly, the overhead lights begin to flicker, changing from sterile white to a hellish red. Maya glances at her phone, only to see that it has lost all connection. She is completely cut off. She moves through the halls again, trying every door she can find. All of them are locked. A scary noise echoes from down the hall. Panicked, Maya ducks into an empty room and quickly pulls all the curtains shut, cloaking herself in darkness. But it's no use. The masked man enters that very same room. He methodically opens each curtain, searching for his prey. The second he turns his back, Maya bolts. The chase is on again, with the masked man right behind her. She finds a large storage container and dives inside, locking herself in the cramped, dark space. Another masked stranger, a woman, arrives and struggles to pry the container open, but the lock holds. When the sounds of their efforts finally fade, Maya thinks she is safe. She carefully creeps out, forgetting her phone in her haste to escape. She moves through the hallway again, her senses on high alert. That is when she spots one of the strangers waiting for her. She sprints through another door with the killer in pursuit. Inside the room, he searches for her, but Maya acts fast. She grabs a can of aerosol spray and blasts it in his face, blinding him long enough for her to escape. She runs into another room, but this time, it's the hospital mortuary. A cold dread washes over her. She frantically searches for a place to hide before her pursuer can catch up. She sees only one option. With no other choice, she hides inside one of the cold steel morgue trays. The masked man enters the mortuary, carefully searching the cold room. When he gets to the wall of morgue shelves, Maya's blood runs cold. The man begins to open each drawer, one by one. He is just about to open the one Maya is hiding in, when he's distracted by a mortuary staff member who has just walked in. The killer stabs the staffer brutally and leaves without checking the final drawer. Alone in the dark, Maya realizes she is in the same tray as the body of her dead fiancé. The grief and horror leave her breathless with pain. She pulls herself out and finally finds an unlocked exit. She runs out into the pouring rain, but a masked man is already there, following her. Maya spots his car and tries to start it, but she can't find the keys. She gets out and runs toward a key lock box she spots on a nearby wall, but is suddenly stopped by a woman who thinks she's a thief. That is when one of the masked strangers appears and shoots the woman dead. The sight sends Maya running once again. She finds herself in a horse stable, moving carefully through the stalls, searching for anything that could be a weapon. But the masked strangers make their way there too. Maya hides just as one of them gets close. She attacks the masked woman with a steel rod she found and continues her desperate flight. She runs through another door, but a different masked stranger is right behind her. She tries to break a window to escape while the man smashes through the door. He breaks a small hole and grabs her hair, but Maya fights back, breaks free, and climbs out the window. This time, she runs toward the road and flags down the first car she sees. Thankfully, it's her friends. Maya begs them to drive, groaning from a fresh injury she just sustained. But once the doors are locked, her paranoia takes over. Suspicious of everyone, she demands to be let out. Her fear intensifies when her friend stops the car to greet some boys on the side of the road. She then invites them into the car, forcing a terrified Maya to sit between them. They're introduced as their roommates. Voices and visions begin to swirl in Maya's head, and she sees them all as masked strangers. She grabs a knife she saw in the car and throws herself out of the moving vehicle. Her friends stop and try to help her, but she runs deep into the forest to escape. The police are now on patrol, alerted to the chaos at the hospital. Meanwhile, once Maya is sure she's alone, she emerges from her hiding spot. She tries to stop her bleeding, using a piece of her clothing to crudely sew the gash in her leg shut. Groaning in pain, she pushes through until the wound is closed. The day grows brighter, but remains cold. Using a lighter, Maya manages to start a small fire for warmth. But the masked strangers have followed her into the forest. One of them finds the blood-soaked cloth, a sign that Maya is close. Suddenly, Maya hears a heavy, animal-like noise and begins running again. She scrambles into an abandoned car for safety. The creature smashes all the windows. As it's about to force its way inside, Maya flees back into the woods. It catches up to her, tearing at her legs and throwing her through the air. Maya groans in pain and plays dead. When the animal thinks she's gone, it leaves, but it senses her movement and returns. This time, Maya fights back. She finds a sharp dagger on the ground and pierces the beast with it again and again, making sure it's dead. Meanwhile, one of the strangers sees the smoke from her fire, confirming that Maya is nearby. The scene shifts back again to the little girl from years ago. She is playing with the boy she likes, but another girl comes and kisses him. The first girl's face contorts with rage. Back in the present, the police discussion at the cafe is overheard, and word spreads that Maya is hiding in the woods. Maya herself staggers through the trees until she finally spots her own house. It's surrounded by police tape. She ignores the warnings and goes inside. Immediately, she is hit with another wave of flashbacks. Maya forces herself to drink some water and eat a snack. She grabs a kitchen knife for defense and changes out of her tattered clothes. On her way out, she sees a man and almost attacks him. But he explains that he's a police officer, sent there to help her. He helps Maya into his car. As he's about to get in the driver's side, he is shot dead by the masked strangers. Scared, Maya jumps into the driver's seat and speeds away as bullets rain down on the car. She continues driving until she reaches her friend's house. The roommate she met earlier opens the door. When Maya becomes conscious again, she's on a bed, her wounds properly cleaned and bandaged. As she looks for clothes to wear, she catches a glimpse of herself in the mirror, horrified by the injuries covering her body. She walks out of the room and bumps into one of the male roommates, the one with a tattoo identical to one she saw on a killer. His threatening tone confirms her suspicions. Just then, her friend interrupts, telling Maya to ignore him. Her friend then gives Maya her phone, which she rescued from the hospital's lost and found. Elsewhere, the EMT sent by Maya's sister stops at a gas station. As he goes inside to pay, the gas station attendant creeps out from under a truck, questioning him weirdly about what he uses his van for. Maya receives a text from her sister that the EMT is on the way. But just then, the suspicious roommate barges into her room and grabs a dagger. He confesses to being one of the strangers before leaving. Immediately, Maya locks the door and pushes a table against it to secure it. She picks up a pair of scissors for defense. She tries to text her sister for help, but she loses her phone connection again. One of the masked strangers tries to force her door open, but Maya pushes back with all her might. Suddenly, she turns. There's another one in the room with her. Maya stabs the masked woman and flees the room. She sees the EMT van has arrived and runs toward it. On her way out, she finds the bodies of both of her friends, brutally murdered. The sight leaves her sobbing, but she keeps moving. Maya gets out of the house and runs straight into the EMT van. But inside, she makes a horrifying discovery. The driver is one of the masked strangers. They fight inside the moving vehicle. Maya stabs the woman, killing her. But another masked man makes his way into the van and tries to stop Maya from driving. She jerks the steering wheel hard, sending them crashing in a violent accident. Maya crawls out of the wreckage and walks toward the masked man, who is lying dead. She is about to remove his mask to see his face, but runs off when she sees the third killer approaching. The last killer walks to their fallen comrade, a woman, and takes off her mask. The flashback flashes back one last time. We see the masked woman as that little girl on the beach. After seeing the boy she liked get kissed by another girl named Tamara, she cornered Tamara and killed her. The flashback ends with the little girl and the boy sitting together, their hands covered in blood, smiling at each other. This was the moment their psychotic behavior began. In the present, Maya watches from the shadows, finally seeing the face of the killer. And that's all for today, guys. If you enjoyed this thrilling recap, hit that subscribe button and I'll see you in the next video.